We're back with that
We're
crack
back.
of a beer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're back for another exciting edition of what we call this thing Operation Magic. I am James. Yes, you can read it. The King Kemp. I brought that back just for fun and giggles. I knew it'd make you laugh because he knows where that comes from. But
Now
no,
we're just a bunch of gestures, man.
just the jesters in James's court. No. I did it for giggles. Josh got a good kick out. I knew he would. And this is Josh Dunn, as you know. Operation Magic back at it again, and we're in the throes of the holiday season. We're getting out of the Christmas spirit, we're getting into the new year, and I was thinking about it. I had a great topic. And tonight, guys, I think you're going to really like this one. This is one that Josh knows really nothing about.
Which is easy to do. It's easy to find stuff that I don't know a whole lot about. And I'm kind of excited to talk about stuff like that because...
And for me, it's something, and this is what you call burying the lead, because I'm not even going to tell you what the topic is until we get through our housekeeping, which is very minimal. But this is something that I also got to experience as a teenager, and they got rid of it when I was a young man, or the version of it that I knew, because they've had a couple versions of this event. And the thing that spurned this topic and this idea was simply Disneyland bringing back or doing something that is retro and awesome and amazing. And so I'm excited to get into this. But Josh, what are you drinking tonight?
This is a big thing for me to say. But this is probably my favorite beer right now of all time.
Okay.
And that is Kona Big Wave.
Kona Big Wave.
Liquid Aloha. This is like a perfect balance between light and like a heavy beer. This is it.
So it's like that perfect. It's not an IPA and it's not a Pilsner.
No, it's more on the light side, but it's really good, man. I mean, it is really good. So
good. I like a good beer. I do. So here's the thing. We talk about going on adventures. We talk about going with our spouses. We talk about going on dates. Well, best way to go on dates is with our travel sponsor, Magic Done Right, Kim Dunn, Josh's wife. Yeah,
she's busy right now too. I mean,
it's that time of year.
Man. Yeah, she's loving it. Anywhere you want to go, especially Disney. I mean, Disneyland, Disney World. She did a Disneyland Paris last year. So anywhere you want to go, she will make it happen. And one thing that I'm most impressed with my wife in this industry is she is always looking to save people money, even after they've booked, they've got the reservation, she'll look for deals all the time as they come up, and people will forget, and then she'll just apply it and email them, hey, I just saved you $200. I mean, she's a grinder, man, when it comes to that stuff.
Dude, so that's awesome. I bet she's one of those ones that's organized with a whiteboard, has her people listed out.
Yeah, she's got crazy organization skills, unlike me.
Yeah, my office is disarray. And if we ever decide to get up and move to the east, it's going to be
a project.
It's going to be an undertaking. Yeah, because guys, what you see behind me is a faux studio. I'm going to have to figure my stuff out. However, we have other great sponsors. We have, Skullface Project. They run some wonderful art on some of our stuff. Matthew O'Brien over there, wonderful artist. He came up out of this just, being a deadhead. If you guys don't know what a deadhead is, listen to some Grateful Dead. Get some Jerry Garcia in your life. Have a wonderful time. And maybe drop some of that Ken Kesey acid if you have it. I don't promote it, but if you want to do it, have fun. However, that is born out of the idea of being a Grateful Dead, loving the Grateful Dead, and it's inspired by that. But it works wonderful with our Disney content because of who we are and the wildness of who we be. So check that out over at operationmagic.printful.me. Then Signs of Amusement. Yes, those wonderful guys making those wonderful signs. Etsy. They're on Etsy. They have their own website, signsofamusement.com. I mean, guys, we are moving and grooving with these sponsors. And then lastly, another sponsor that we just acquired a few shows ago, Two Marines Through Disney. Two Marines Through Disney, our good friend Lou running that. He, Disney Antiquities, if you are totally into looking for autographs, old old memorabilia. Something like, I'll reach over and grab it off my desk. Something as simple as this, an original piece of merchandise from the Golden Horseshoe Saloon that they sold from the 60s and 70s. He will know how to find this. Antiquities of old nature, new nature. He will tell you where to look. So, if you need to get a hold of Lou, that'd be twomarineswhodisney@gmail.com. Now, Josh, you want to tell them what the topic is tonight? Because I've already buried the lead multiple times.
Well, we're going over a little bit of retro date night, specifically at Disneyland first, where we talk about, I think it was 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I have no idea about any of that stuff. But what I do think is once we get this topic rolling, that I think that I'll start to cook a little bit of some ideas how Walt Disney World could probably manage something like this and where it could be. Because it's not as simple as Disneyland, because I assume these things all happen right in front of the castle. You got the dance out there, right? Doing that at Disney World would be way harder. It would have to be maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
But so start with the OG, I think.
All right, so here it is, guys. So date night at Disneyland was a thing that started. It was in the 1950s. It was 1957 to 1968. That was the original version of date night at Disneyland. Now, what spurred this topic was the fact that Disneyland decided at Downtown Disney they're going to bring back a 1960s retro bar, a rooftop bar. Now, for me, I love that because the pastels, the idea for tiki culture behind you, like I have, I'm big into that. So you could really lean into that post-war modernism that Disney had been known to do in that era. And it really was a big thing with date night at Disneyland, because what happened when the parks were, so fresh and you had the ticket books and you had to pay for your rides, you get 10 rides, you get the dance, you'd get to have some music, get to have a good time.
Oh, so they cap the rides?
What? Oh, yeah.
They cap the rides, so it's not like park entry and you're just there.
No, so back in the day, when the parks opened, and we never experienced this, you and I, was the ticket books. It was, you saw it, there's the A, B, and C and D tickets, and then the E ticket attraction came later, the bigger tickets, right? So that was a part of it. So you had your ticketed attractions. They had open. You had 10 attractions, and let me just read the passage. I have this great book, guys. I love reading Disney stuff. Josh knows I love to read stuff like this. It's the Disneyland Encyclopedia. It's the unofficial, unauthorized book. This thing has got everything you need to know. This is, I think, the second edition. I think they've got 4 editions out now, but it's worth the read. It's got everything you need to.
I thought you were going to try that last word, and it's unprecedented. I can help you out. I know you were.
No, I wasn't trying to read it. Yeah. Anyways, so in Disneyland's early years, date night was a pleasant summer tradition. So it happened in the summer. Makes sense. Yeah. This musical event began in June of '57 and would sometimes last until 1 a.m. In the summer of 1958, date night expanded from weekend-only occasions to a nightly event.
Wow.
Management goal for date night was twofold. A fully utilized Disneyland After Dark, this is kind of the precursor to the Disneyland After Dark or the Disney After Dark events that we have today. So you could really think date night at Disneyland for the idea of these After Dark events. So see the Magic Kingdom under Starlight touted in some ads to draw young couples to the park by luring them by a sophisticated dance concert. The lovely outdoor, which was the Carnation Plaza Gardens, which quote unquote the Plaza Gardens as they called it, in the northwest corner of the hub, provided a main dance location, and the Date Nighters, officially the Elliott Brothers Orchestra, which we have a song we'll play probably after I read this, provided the main dance music. These 10 musicians, all wearing red jackets and white pants, included a half dozen brass instruments, a stand-up brass player, a pianist, a drummer, and a vocalist. The group's 1958 album, Date Night at Disneyland, shows off the good repertoire of Gershwin, Johnny Mercer, Rogers, and Hart standards, with Goodnight Sweetheart as romantic coda. from 1958 to 1965, the annual souvenir books consisted Spotlight the Date Nighters, with the same photo of the well-dressed, happy couples in the front of the orchestra, and accompanied a caption, a gay twirl with the best girl to dance rhythms of Disneyland's popular date night orchestra and summertime evening favorite. The event provided a wildly successful and got positive press in the local newspapers. In 1962, an episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color, the date nighters are seen knocking out swinging songs for a national audience. However, by decade's end, the date night campaign had been abandoned, at least under that name, but the trend of evening entertainment at Disneyland had been set. Later concerts at the Plaza Gardens would feature such shows as big bands at Disneyland series of the 1980s. I grew up in the 90s and 2000s, and that carried on into the early 2000s. And I know that because I picked up girls there at a young age. So I used the date night experience that from what we read there to even my advantage into a standard into the 2000s when it got phased out at some point. I know that was a lot to take in, but what do you think, Josh? What do you think after hearing that?
I have one major thing to say, and I hope I can articulate this properly. It would be impossible to do exactly what you just read today. Mm-hmm. Here's why. They did it to market after young adults.
Yes.
That same marketing scheme, they're going to market to us.
Yeah.
Which is great, but they won't get the same demographic that they did back in the day. You're not getting your late teens, early 20s because they're not doing anything outside.
No, but see that. But here's
you're going to get us.
But here's the deal, and I can agree to that. I think
back then, bro, the 50s. I mean, the 20s, 20-year-olds were at dancing all the time. They were out driving movies. They were doing all kinds of cool stuff outside, driving their cars just to drive them. You know what I mean? And doing stuff. There was nothing to do at home. There was nothing to do.
There wasn't.
And Disney was smart back then to market to that demographic because they probably weren't going to the parks without something like that to kind of get them interested.
No, I can totally agree to that. But here's how you.
Now you'd have to run a Fortnite tournament now to get some of these.
No, here's how you get it. Here's what you do, and because you have to lean into the trending times, right? But you hit Fortnite because they have Disney Fortnite now, obviously. You lean into it by doing a TikTok trend, a date night trend at Disneyland where it's dancing, and then you get the younger crowd because they'll be like, "Oh, check it out! I'm here. I'm doing the trend." Yeah, you get that 30-second clip, but next thing you know, they're actually enjoying themselves, dancing, having. But see, you and I, we had the experience going to the clubs in the military too, so there's that.
I can't talk about that here.
Yeah, no. I
have a story I'll tell you.
Off air?
Off air, that is absolutely absurd.
Me too.
Good old San Antonio.
Oh, North Carolina.
Oh, man. Well, okay. So, yeah, that section, I was like, there's no way you can get this same age group in there just based off that.
I think here's how it starts. Now, I don't like the ticketed idea. I don't like... Because I was talking to you off air.
It'd be impossible, bro.
Yeah, I don't like that idea of making it ticketed. Because making it ticketed, what you do, you're trying to drive revenue. But the idea is to draw younger crowds in. You cannot draw a younger crowd in by having a ticketed date night at Disneyland event. Because if you think about it, teenagers... How much money do teenagers really have? I've got an 18 and 20-year-old daughters. I know. How much do you think they have?
That's why, like, for you guys, I think it'd be even harder over in Disneyland because you only have really, you don't have a lot of space. And here, being a Magic Kingdom is such a premium, there's no way they'd do it there. They'd have to do it at Hollywood Studios.
Even then, that'd be fine. You could still.
Yeah, no, it would be great. You know, it'd be a great area.
You could do almost a 1920s, 1930s style retro date night.
But really Like, if you were at Magic Kingdom and you did an after park close ticketed event for $50,
Right.
only opened the limited rides, and they have this big stage over by Space Mountain where
Right.
you could pull off a band and all that good stuff. You could probably do that there, but you'd have to. Obviously, your main attractions are probably closed because
Yeah.
you have all these events already that are $200 to get in.
Oh
So
yeah. No, 100%. So here's Disneyland can still work the way it used to, because the Plaza Gardens are still there. It's just called, I think it's the Royal Princess Fantasy Fair, and they have it at theater over there. It's the Royal Princess Fantasy Fair Theater, and they still have the stage. It's still an area. You just have to take the benches out that they put in there, and that's not a problem. They're bolted down. Disney unbolts and bolts things all the time. It's not a problem if you just did it one. I see. This is how I see it working. Because Dapper Day. Do you guys have Dapper Day over in Florida?
maybe I don't even know.
All right. Now I have to go to the Google machine since it's up already.
I
Dapper
would
Day.
think so.
Yeah. Well, I believe you do. Because you have the Dapper Dance.
Yeah, I also don't know if we would day for it. If we do,
Dapper
I'm
Day
not aware.
in Florida, yes, is an unofficial event at WDW where guests dress up in their finest vintage-inspired or stylish contemporary outfits to visit the parks, typically twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. Same thing
Missed
happens
that.
at
I don't know.
Disneyland. Yeah, something happens at Disneyland. Lou and I went one year and we dressed in tiki attire, 1940s post-war, 50s post-war.
Nice.
We saw people there. They were dressed in post-war cosplay military. We saw people there in their finest, dapper outfits. It was girls done in hoop skirts and poodle skirts, and it's one of those events that is really cool. And they do at the hotels, they usually have like a retro cell or something in one of the ballrooms or something. It's pretty legit. And
Now that'd be an idea too, is to make it not even cost anything. And here
yeah,
at Disney World, you could do it at a resort,
yeah, exactly.
and you could. They have all kinds of stuff happening at the resorts. You could probably run it at like a Grand Floridian or something like that.
Oh yeah, see
You
if you
know,
found yeah. But you could even there's multiple ideas that you could do, but I like the idea of coupling it with an idea like Dapper Day, because what happens is it's already a throwback day. The people who are in the know for Dapper Day, whether they're young or old, they've already paid their admission to the park. Now imagine if that was a part of the ticket. That would so it's a good way to say it's not a separate ticket, but it's a separated thing. So if you have your ticket and you entered some way, Disney gave you a way to enter validly with the regular day admission ticket, but they noticed that you were in your dapper attire, you got to go to that event for free.
or if it's like a in the know thing, you
Yeah.
could make it like a speakeasy kind of thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
where you can make it like that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Where if it's in the know, Disney releases like an email, like you're on a certain email list, and you throw it on an email, and if you're in the know and you bring that email as like your invitation, you have to have proof of that email. And then what you do is like people are like, wow, how do you get into that event? It draws intrigue, because I remember as a teenage boy when I was running through the parks, and I got to experience the big band experience of it all, right? And I was taking a dance class in high school because I thought as a freshman, like, oh, dance is going to cover a PE class. No, that was only for sophomores. So I took dance as a freshman, and I enjoyed it actually. But I was learning how to swing dance, and they were playing swing music, and I got to go do some really good hardcore swing dancing with people who have been doing it for a while. Young girls my age, older women my age. It was it was a great time. But the only reason I was drawn in because of the music. Kids, you have to do what kids are drawn in today. You have to find the style of music, not hip hop, not, but the music that's going to make you draw the kids in with that Disney appeal, like Disney only can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's you have to lean into something like that, I think. What do you think, Josh? What do
I
you
think.
think?
I'd definitely be down for something like that. That'd be a lot of fun. I just think the logistics of it all would be like very, very difficult. It's easy to spitball stuff, but I think it would be harder than we think to pull it off.
To what this is as a
But if
Josh,
anybody can,
yeah, it'd be
you know.
Disney. As a Josh and Gino would say, this is a wet spaghetti idea.
Hey, Josh and Gina, if you're watching this and you're at this moment right now where you're listening to us, thank you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys should actually throw spaghetti at your wall one day. I think that'd be hilarious. Where you actually just say, I have an idea. Boom.
Yeah.
And you just, that would be,
it'd be hilarious.
Obviously messy, but it'd be hilarious. Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
I spaghetti test all the time, dude. I love spaghetti testing.
Just boom. Every time you have an idea, you just toss it behind you.
No.
That'd be cool.
So it wouldn't be hard, but all right, so this is where I like this topic because I had experience in doing the date night stuff. For you as someone who had never done it, and you said, I'd love to do this, what is the premium for you on an event like this? What is something that you would like to see or have happen if it were? Like because you would so I'm going to take your experience from Hollywood Horror Nights when you went. And you wanted, the food was terrible and some of the stuff was okay. And obviously it's Universal and you're like, Universal should be able to do it bigger than Disney because they're a movie studio. They have everything at their disposal, though Disney is huge at Imagineering. What are some things that you would like to see for, say, you and Kim or couples that had never been able to do it? That would draw them in, or even younger couples.
Okay. For me personally, I can't speak to younger couples because that day is long past me. But right. I honestly think something like this would not appeal to younger couples. Okay. I don't think it would. I think that our generation is the one that's more interested in retro 50s and 60s kind of stuff than anybody else. Right now, the younger couples are into the years that we were born.
Right, right. It's weird.
For me, it boils down to three major things. It would have to be drinks, food, music. Okay. So to make it a premium, something that like I'm going to pay for, if we're going the paid route, I would need an authentic kind of like swing band. Okay. Some kind of, not like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You can find music everywhere, but to get an authentic feel, you got to be very careful, I think, about who you bring.
Pause for a second. You said authentic feel and music.
Pause. Yes.
Play the song. Play part of the song. We can only play X amount of this song, guys, because copyright issues. Don't want to get in trouble. But here we go. Let's dance at Disneyland. 8 nights or 8 nights at Disneyland. We're open till the clock rocks 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday nights. All right, so something like that for natural. Something like that. Like give you that feel. Did that inspire you to want to be like, okay, I want to have a drink and dance to that because that makes me feel the way I want to feel in that moment.
Yeah, I want to like. If Disney does something like this, it's got to be over the top Disney, right? Yeah. You need to have a band like that. You need to have. I'm just spitballing here. I'm thinking, since alcohol and Disney really don't go hand in hand too often, thinking if you're gonna do drinks, I want old school Coke bottles.
Oh yeah, old school bottles. Yeah.
I want like, I don't know, like. When I think of food from the 50s, you know what I think of for some reason, man? I think of like classic sundaes.
Okay.
Like a classic, like ice cream bar, some kind of sweets, vintage Coke products, and live music that fits the, like, you want to be transported. You know what I mean? I don't want to go and get the same fountain drink and the same Disney food.
Right.
If you're gonna do it, it needs to be like I'm in like 1955.
So here you hit a lot of stuff on the idea, right? So here's something that I just came up with for a menu item. So I typed in into one of my little Google ideas here.
Our assistant
here. I talked to my assistant, and
Beatrice, what's a good food for
So,
1950s party.
No. Here's a great menu item. Two great menu items for you. You have sloppy Joe sliders. Not something too dirty or gross, but a slider. It's like even not a cheeseburger slider, because that's too overdone. You want something that's really there. It's different. It hits all those notes of like savory, sweet, fun. I'm at a backyard event, sort of like big band
Yeah.
dance out. You hit the malted milkshakes. I'd want a boozy milkshake though, like
Okay.
a boozy malt, like a Kahlua. You know what I mean? Mix a Kahlua with a little bit of a rum in there, a rum chata shake, something
Okay.
that mixes fusion. Now, here's something that I just thought of that you could even throw in there. Disney does weird stuff. They do the cheeseburger spring rolls, right? Why not do a shrimp cocktail spring roll? A warmish marinara with a, a shrimp in it, like a crusted shrimp. Make it a mix of fusion of today with a mix of retro. So you get something classic. Now, is that kind of along the lines of what you'd pay kind of the premium for?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking, and I'm just thinking this because of what I like. I
Yeah,
would like a nice little like if you hold it like in the fall or winter, like
yeah,
a nice little chili bread bowl would be cool.
yeah. Oh yeah, dude, a chili bread bowl.
You know,
That's classic.
like a chili bread bowl, yeah.
That's
Something like
classic
that.
Disney too. That's classic Disney as well.
Some
Because
oyster
that's
crackers or something in it,
yeah, a,
something
a,
like that.
a Waltz chili bread bowl. How's about
Yeah.
that? A Waltz chili bread bowl, because that Waltz chili is a thing within the parks. So do that. There's where you make up your cost. Make the event free and make the things around it premium. Pins, like a souvenir, right? A good souvenir pin.
Yeah,
You know,
that'd be cool.
stuff that commemorates the evening for these people who have really taken the time to put out. Even for the high end people who want something to remember, like a bowling shirt, a date night at Disneyland, Roosevelt's bowling shirt.
That'd be
And
cool.
like $100 item. Disney doesn't even have to have it be a ticket in an event, because all the merch will pay for itself, because everybody who's been at that event, like you said, speakeasy feel. You're in the know. Email system. Oh crap! Because people who are already there are going to pay for the merch. If I got that email saying that I got to go to that, it's like Banana Ball. Anybody who knows about the Savannah Bananas knows it's all email based. You can't buy their tickets online. You have to join their email. And if Disney did that for a date night event like that, I swear to you, it would do better than any of these sweetheart events they have going right now.
I just wonder how you would cap the attendance because, I mean, you would have a lot more people than Disney could probably handle.
You
Um,
cap it.
I'm thinking instead of email, maybe dress code it to where people that know you have to go dressed like the era.
Yeah.
And then if you
Okay.
see it while you're at the park, you're like, oh, it looks cool. I want to go to that. And you're just like there every day and don't know, you know what I mean? You can't get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
No,
like that might be a little.
no, I think that's cool, and that's a good way of doing it. That's what I was starting to think of with the ticket idea at the beginning at the gate, and that's why I shifted to that the email, because the email, the way the Savannah Bananas do it, they only have, the stadiums only have X amount of seating and how they set it up, right? And it's like a email lottery. You have to respond. I think they cap it at like X amount. As soon as X amount response, it's like an assistant, kind of like we have.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. The assistant tells them, all right, that number's there. And then once it's kind of like getting in line for a special ticketed event, but you're not paying for the ticket. You have to respond to the email. Like you have to like click yes, I'm attending, I'm there. You have to have proof your tickets are already bought. There has to be a process. So the day of tickets already need to be bought. Disney will have already announced these well in advance, like they do Oogie Boogie. They'll give you a window of when the email is going to be, and then the day that you have to be in. You have to, do the whole thing, the process, ticket, but you have to have your hard ticket for the day bought. Otherwise, the code isn't valid. You know what I mean?
So what about the opposite?
Okay.
Make it as expensive as the rest of the ticket events.
Okay.
So I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Obviously, I do not want to pay a lot of money for another event. However, I'm thinking to myself, it's like any kind of thing, like you keep out people who are just like, oh, I wonder what this is, and you really have people who are like genuinely want to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you make it $100, right? Not
Right.
everybody's gonna be like, oh man, I can't wait to spend another $100 to go to some retro party.
Right. No, 100%. And so it's it's crazy because the Disney After Dark series now, the Sweethearts Nights, it's it's yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You have to pay an extra ticket. And I get it, and I understand why they're doing it because these are great events for couples. But it's I don't know. These sweetheart events don't make me want to go or do things because there's certain things that are right, certain attractions that are open, and certain photo ops. But that's okay. Give me something more. If I'm going to be there after dark, that's not enough for me. You know what I mean? I'm at
Yeah.
Disney enough. I'm at the parks enough that at dark, after dark doesn't feel special half the time.
See, and I think where Disneyland gets success from their Sweetheart Nights tickets is because you pay for the ticket. I think it's online. It says 160 to 185 per person.
Yeah. Yep.
But you get to get in 3 hours before the event begins.
Yeah.
So you still get to go to the park in some capacity, get on some rides if you can, and then attend the Sweetheart event.
Right.
And that's where they're gonna make, I think, the most money. And
But
it's such a
can
good way though for them to get couples involved that typically wouldn't go.
It is. It is. Because I
Disney.
want to play devil's advocate on that back end of it because I did the whole get in 3 hours early for Oogie Boogie. You know, and it's like it's a mix in. You start to mix in, and yeah, you still get to get part of the park, and it's okay, but you're still like.
I think Oogie Boogie is more packed probably than
Oh yeah, it
than a
is.
Sweetheart event, right?
But,
So I mean,
yeah, but what I'm saying is that 3 hours, no matter how you spin it, because look at rope drop, look at early entry when they had early entry to the parks. It didn't feel special unless it was over. Not, even an hour didn't give you enough time to do what you needed to do. When it was 2 hours, that felt like you were winning because you were in the parks 2 hours before nobody else was.
right.
When you're mixing in, you still have to fight. So yeah, you get 3 hours in the park before everybody's filed out, but at that time, certain attractions start closing after everybody files out, and so the attractions that you missed, you don't get to go on, and I think that's the back end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As where when you've already been in the park for rope drop and you had that 2 hours, you accomplished all of Fantasyland, you accomplished all of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. I don't know what it was like in Florida. And then when the rest of the park opened, you could accomplish the rest of the park, the bigger rides, because a lot of the attractions that would fill up quicker, like in Fantasyland, you wouldn't have to go back and do again unless you had to get a fast pass back in the day.
I mean, if you rope drop World, you can pretty much get on one ride that's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Right away. It's just so much bigger to traverse. You know what I mean? But nothing really ever closes in World for ticketed events, to my knowledge. I mean, if you're in Magic Kingdom and you're there till 1 o'clock in the morning, that park is like
certain attractions for certain events do. It just depends on what land and where they used to. I could be speaking out of pocket, but from my knowledge, some used to.
I'm just going off experience. Every time I've been to an after hours event, I've gotten on everything I wanted to get on. And back in the day, now it's worse because almost everybody does them. I think back in the day it was never like maxed out. You know what I'm saying? So you could go there and, if you had magic hours for after the park closed from like 11 to 1 a.m., 11 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, Kim and I would walk through Magic Kingdom like a ghost town back in 2011, 2012. I mean, there was nobody there. which was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Go ride,
Right.
whatever. That's how we got that certificate for being the last riders of Splash Mountain
Right.
for the day.
Right.
Was because we were just wandering around, walking on rides.
Yeah. And that is the one key thing I will say about certain special events, that there is that draw, there is that feeling that, hey, I can just walk on rides. I know the worst event ever to be thought of was 24 Hours of Disney, because that was a madhouse. Um, you couldn't walk through the parks when I was at
Uh,
Disneyland.
no, bro, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I think now for Disney World that has changed. I think every time we've been the last couple of years, no matter what ticketed event we go to, it is packed.
Yeah.
It is packed full. And I think Disney is on the greedy side a little bit with their ticketed events, because like you go to the Halloween party and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be capped at 30,000, let's say, and the park can hold 100,000. I know they're squeezing more and more and more people in every year.
Yeah. See, and I think for a date night, you cap it. You have a hard cap. You don't squeeze in 30,000 couples. That's just asinine. No, make it 5,000. A cap of 5,000 people. Because that makes it more special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then Disney would have to get paid somehow. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I understand. Disney, there's always that back end. Disney would have to get paid somehow.
Right.
But you want to make it feel special. And if Disney is truly trying to go back on this, tying it all back together, back into this retro idea of, well, we want to have a retro rooftop bar. We want to do this. Well, also give us some retro prices, damn it. Give us something
That'd be nice, right?
that if you want to get paid, make it worth it to where we want to pay you. Because I don't like going to special events and having to pay $80 for a special event shirt that I know a kid 25 hours ago, it made it for $2.55.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna have you check in at the front, pay $100, and you're gonna get back like a pocket full of nickels to make you feel like you're back in the 50s, and then
Right.
everything's gonna be 10 cents, 5 cents, or whatever, and you're like, oh man, this is so much fun. A hot dog was only 5 cents, but you just converted it from $100 down to like $3 at the door.
Pretty much. That'd be a great Simpsons episode. Just satire that.
Yeah, yeah, because that's, man. I mean, obviously the food and the drinks and all that stuff would be as
Yeah,
expensive as it is now.
it would have to be. I mean, I even to make light of the situation that we were just talking about. I did the math conversion where it's we've been into the holiday season. We've been watching holiday movies, and Home Alone came on, and that infamous scene in the grocery store, 1927 or 19 whatever the prices. You know what that's equivalent to? Just under $50 today to buy the same 8 items.
Yeah, I watched a retro video of like 1980s reporter going to buy Thanksgiving dinner,
Yeah.
and he spent like $34, and he had a cart full
Yep.
of stuff, man. And I was like, I can't walk into the food store and not spend $40,
Yeah. No.
no matter what I'm getting.
Yeah, I know. So, no, but I just think I love the topic of just Disney doing retro stuff, but I like the idea of doing a date night and bringing that all back, because Disney used to do something. They still do a lot for couples. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying here to try and dog Disney for not doing a lot for couples, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is they need to do something that is true to the Disney spirit of where we started with this. You want to bring a rooftop bar in, make a special event for even on that rooftop bar, even if it's a Dapper Day special event that's a $50 ticket at an event, limited tickets at the bar to do this date night thing. I think that would do well. It doesn't have to be a huge date night at Disneyland, but you have to do something for WDW in that sense as well. And my idea is, if you do this and you do it to a degree, your customers will always be there. Disney fans and Disney adults are loyal as the day is long. Wouldn't you say that, Josh?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So if you
Yeah.
treat us good, we're gonna pay out the ass. Yeah, it's already shown. You send us to a special event it's a $50 ticket at a special event, and the drinks are $25. I guarantee you we're gonna buy 4 drinks. That's just a guarantee.
Even a starting point to me would be, and they could do this. I know for Valentine's time frame, Disney World does have like um, food options that change at different like special dining. You could do like
Yeah,
Valentine's Day packages and stuff like that. But if you
yeah.
made it like not, I need to go get a reservation. But if you took like food and wine style dining, like at Epcot, it made it like a Valentine's Day week themed thing where you and your girl stroll through Epcot and try different foods and make the fireworks more romantic and make like the backdrop where they show different movie clips with the fireworks are more like love scenes from different
No,
Disney films and stuff like that. That'd be a cool like little romantic spin on things instead of just going, oh, this random restaurant has this Valentine's Day package you could buy for $250.
no, I agree with that, and I think that's a wonderful idea. Another thing I was looking up because Disneyland, literally had a bar that is a 1960s themed bar back in the day called the Monorail Bar. The monorail used to run from inside the park into the hotel when the hotel was, but they had the bar inside. See, they don't have it in my book, but it's there. There's you go look it up. But there's a bar that in the monorail would go and drop you off, and you leave your kids in the park with they had a babysitter, and you go get your drink on, and today we'll have our day at Disneyland. But the monorail bar is a 60s themed bar, and I wonder if they're going to take anything from that idea and that thought process from that time frame and play it into this new bar, this new downtown retro idea that they're trying to bring back to Disney.
I mean, I would love to walk into like a 50s or 60s inspired bar.
Yeah, and so for all of you who are wondering, the monorail bar, the monorail bar was at Disneyland Hotel. It's been long gone for years, guys, but it was truly a real place. In the hotel's past, where guests could get off the monorail for a drink. So, like I said, drop the kids off at the babysitter. If they had, someone who watched kids, which Disney does have babysitters, if you want to pay by the hour and out the nose, it's not fun. I wouldn't suggest it. I looked into it when we took our girls a while back. But today the station is still accessible via the hotel, but it's a walk. So the station is still there, but it's not a bar. It's just
Yeah,
an outdoor.
we have the tune in lounge, but it doesn't. I walked in once and it doesn't feel. It's supposed to be, I think, 1950s or 60s inspired, but it doesn't feel like that to me. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like, but it doesn't. It doesn't feel like that to me.
No, no. Well, see, if you really wanted to get into the 1950s and 60s spirit at WDW, you can always do what is called the monorail bar crawl at all 3 Disney World resorts on the monorail loop. So if you want to go get drunk at all 3 resorts on that
Bar
loop,
crawl.
you can do that bar crawl.
Good times.
I mean, guys, these topics, we think of them on the fly. This topic, I know it may not be the most exciting topic, but I know for me being prior military, and I know Josh being prior military, we always think of like dates and how expensive dates were when we were in the military as young, E1s, E2s, E3s.
Where
And
was your go-to spot, bro?
mine,
Jared, I went to Applebee's 2 for $20.
okay, mine was either that or Coyotes. We had a bar called Coyotes, and Coyotes had a killer menu. But I was also that extravagant. Like I'd always at least try and do a date to Disneyland because I was only an hour from Disneyland itself
Oh,
from
yeah.
San Diego. But even then, it was expensive to do that. So I will tell you, base tickets back in the day, so they were like $70, right? So $140 for 2 tickets. Then you think about it. So it's $140 for the 2 tickets. food, you're looking at $50 in food that day.
Right.
So you're already in that. You're already in that date. $200. Now, if you're getting a hotel off the strip,
now we're talking.
That's another 100. So look at that. So in your 2-week paycheck that you got paid probably $400, $500, 300 of it went to a date to Disney.
I would gladly pay $300 now for a date to Disney. Right. It's way more than that now.
But we were by the beach, so it's always like go something, grab like a burrito from this place called Senor Pancho's, and go sit at the beach and hang out and talk, or go to Ruby's off the pier, and stupid stuff that you could do for reasonably cheap back then. Because being in that area, the beaches were prevalent. Going to In-N-Out date was simple too, because In-N-Out was right there. So it's just like I didn't really have a lot of go-tos. I let them really go. Hey, where do you want to go? And it's usually his like some sort of taco spot, because there's a lot of tacos down there.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what everybody else has to say in regards to
Disney
bringing back some retro vibes.
Yeah, I think the WDW needs some retro. But you guys have the Polynesian, which fits that whole mystique and that feel.
Yeah, it does.
It does. But you need more.
A little bit.
At
least something for dates would be cool. Anything.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, they started it right with bringing Sam's. Sam's is a good date. Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
For 1940s, 1950s style feel of food. The old steakhouses. I know Steakhouse 57 when that was there at Disneyland, or Steakhouse 55, I should say, sorry. They took that out. That was a good, like, old school feeling steakhouse, retro steakhouse feel. But I think more retro everything would be great. I love the 1950s, 1960s feel, so I couldn't agree more.
Somebody else is going to make a podcast years from now, and they're going to be arguing to bring back 1980s and 1990s.
Well, they tried that in Back to the Future too. Remember, they had Cafe 80s. Yeah. Cafe 80s.
Oh man, 80s and 90s is just prime. Before the technology boom.
Yeah, right before.
Well, yeah.
Now we're here doing this because, guys, remember back in the day, it's just radio conversations.
Yeah, you would never see like this.
Nope.
You would never see this.
Nope. Never.
Couldn't happen.
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good place to
stop.
Good call or night.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, if you guys want to tune in, tap in here on YouTube at Operation Magic Pod. Tap in at Instagram at Operation Magic Pod there as well. Go to the merch, buy the merch, check out our sponsors. They're wonderful people. They won't steer you wrong.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and very soon, that the live is going to be happening for the giveaway. So we got a lot on the table.
Or congratulations to those that won.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
All
right, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Take care.
See ya.
All right, squad. Listen up. You already know who we are. We are the Operation Magic Podcast. Disney loving, dad run, veteran built. Every week, we're here bringing you that magic straight to the veins. And now we've got something even bigger. It's official, guys. The Operation Magic merch. Those t-shirts, those hoodies, the mugs, stickers, you name it. All Disney inspired, all made for the Operation Magic squad. This isn't just gear. This is the uniform. You throw this on, you're not just a fan. You're a part of the family. Every piece supports this show, keeps the mission alive, and helps us keep bringing laughs, the stories, and the magic every single week. So what are you waiting for? Hit operationmagic.printful.me right now. Grab your gear and show the world who you are rolling with. Operation Magic. Rep the magic. Rep the squad.